Like racing in cars, boats, and airplanes? So are the games of our lives. It finally happened. We have Diddy Kong Racing 2 for the Nintendo Switch 2. And these are the games of our lives.
Super Mario and Pokemon and all the games that took us to another place and made us want to keep playing all night. These are the games of our lives.
Welcome everybody to the Games of Our Lives podcast. My name is Bill, accompanied by the wonderful, fantastic Matt. Welcome on in. What are we talking about today?
Oh boy, we are. I'm scared to even say it.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Get your shields ready, like all of them. The Nintendo Direct.
The Nintendo Switch 2
Switch
Direct.
2. Switch 2 Direct, specifically.
Yeah, we talked about the Switch 1 Direct with Tony a couple weeks ago, but yeah, last week was the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and in the last 7 or 8 days since that Direct, a lot has happened, I would say. But
a storm, if you will.
Perhaps a perfect storm. But before we dive into, like, the storm, I kind of wanted to just run through the actual Direct itself and take kind of everything, like, at face value. And then we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty of the Nintendo Switch and all of the shenanigans going on with the general public's opinion on it afterwards.
And there are many.
At least one. So,
there's so many more.
Without further ado, this is two Nintendo shills talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Thank you for the money, John Nintendo. I really appreciate it. Lining our bankroll of the Games of Our Lives podcast with just Nintendo dollars, obviously. So, the Switch 2 is the sequel to the Nintendo Switch. And on April 2nd, we got about a 60-minute presentation regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 and all of its ins and outs as a console. Long story short with the Nintendo Switch 2, you know, this isn't like a Nintendo Switch Pro. This is a totally, like, next gen, as in, like, gen after Switch 1 console. A lot of people get really, like, hung up on the phrase of next gen when the Switch 2 is closer to, like, the power levels of, like, the Steam Deck and or, like, a little less than the PS5. Or
yeah, it's like a PS4 and a half.
But it's closer to the PS5 than it is the PS4, probably. No? You know,
in terms of, they haven't released all of the tech specs yet, but based on the stuff they've given us, it's definitely, like, in between. Like, because it's not consistent 4K.
Sure.
It's only in one of the modes. But
I mean, it is
making a handheld do that is so difficult.
How much more powerful than the Switch 1 is this device going to be, most likely?
I will just share with you a quote from one of the like big marketing people from Nintendo.
Yeah.
They were playing Breath of the Wild, like the Switch 2 version of it.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, I didn't even realize the grass looked like that. Or, wow, I didn't realize there were so many leaves on the trees. I mean, because there are so many things that couldn't render on the Switch that could render on the Switch 2. So I think that's a pretty good indicator of just how much better it is. But, like, the Switch 2 was what, 720p handheld, 1080p docked?
Right.
And variable frame rate, like, no guarantees.
Very few guarantees on the frame rate on the Switch 1.
Switch 2 is 4K at 60 or 30, I forget.
I think it's 4K at 60.
I think it's 4K at 60 and it's 1080p at 120.
Which is crazy in comparison.
That's such a massive upgrade. It's actually crazy.
And honestly, so, like, when I was when I had the PlayStation 4 and then got the PlayStation 5, you know, we're reaching, like, the Rubicon of, like, the peak of where graphics feel like they can go, where, like, we're gonna, like, see crazy differences to the human eye.
We need to upgrade the screens before we can actually make it much better. Because like you could make the graphics better, but it becomes like visualizing them better at this point becomes like very difficult.
Well, the biggest change between the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 that I noticed that I think it makes gaming as a whole better is just that things load a lot more quickly.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother too.
So that's really, I think, like what we're moving towards is just like instant speed stuff, as opposed to like having more like loading times. So I think that is what I really am most excited about, is like having Switch 2 games that maybe just don't take as long to load, or playing Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 without the longer loading times. So that because the Switch 1 does have some loading time issues, and I would say getting rid of those would just upgrade about 80% of the games that I played on the Switch 1, like straight up.
Did you see the comparison that they did on Treehouse where they literally had them side by side and showed the time difference?
Oh, was it like a big difference?
Like they did the Breath of the Wild versus Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition loading. And like Link is just standing there in an idle animation by the time that the original one loads up.
You know what game that would be huge for, by the way, and would just make the flow so much better, is Mario and Luigi Brothership. Getting rid of load times would be so huge, because you have to load in and out of every battle, which gets annoying quickly.
Which is annoying. You know what else would have been better?
What's that?
Ultimate.
Ooh.
Can you imagine if Ultimate could load the JPEGs?
Oh man,
I wonder which color I have selected for my character. If only it could render the JPEG. Sorry, it's a PNG. It's not a JPEG. I get it. There's transparency. But seriously, that's the thing that breaks it?
I mean, like, hopefully with the Switch 2, it'll just be like a better situation there. You have to imagine it would.
It being like, Roy! And I don't know if I'm red, yellow, green, or something else, and I'm hitting the button. Like, I think that's the right one.
I hit X 3 times. So
it says Roy, but there's no Roy on the screen yet.
That's really annoying. But we're getting off track. Let's talk about the actual Direct itself.
Yeah.
The Direct itself opened up with a game that was revealed a few months ago, and that, of course, is Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is going to be an open world style Mario Kart game. Right. They will still have Grand Prix. They will also have there's another style. It's like a knockout tournament almost.
That is the one that I am the most excited about.
Where you're racing like through 5 or 6 courses, and at each indicated checkpoint, if you're in the bottom 3 or 5 or whatever, you get knocked out of the race, and that's it for you. And it's kind of like a racing battle royale, I think, is kind of the best way to describe it. And we are getting also a Mario Kart World dedicated Direct on April 17th. So in a little more than a week by the time this airs. So we have a lot to learn still about this game. Doesn't look like there's any like crazy driving gimmicks that they're introducing, minus grinding and wall riding, which are definitely new. I feel like the transformations are just kind of like automatic part things that really don't change much. Like the airplane mode is like the glider mode, and
the grinding, I think, changes a couple of things like crazy though. And you specifically probably wouldn't think about this because you're really good at Mario Kart. I want you to imagine the experience of like Gianna, someone who has a much harder time controlling and falling off of a level and needing to use the auto drive function to keep you on the... There are so many things you can't do when you have the driving assist thing turned on. I was specifically noticing that there are a ton of ledges on the outside, which makes sense because why would they be in the middle of the road? They're usually on the outside of the lanes.
Right.
But the grinds hold onto the ledge for you, as far as I can tell.
That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like there's any like balance thing or anything. And
it looks like there's a drift component maybe, where like there's some way to increase your speed. I couldn't tell because I watched a bunch of the Treehouse footage, but not all of it.
And it looks like there's some way to like jump between
Yeah.
Like
It's
jump
like the
off to the
Splatoon,
left
like
or to the
jumping
right.
from line to line, or like Sonic Adventure, like sideways jump kind of
Right.
deal.
So I guess we'll learn more about that, but I didn't think about that. You're right. That's kind of a cool
That's a big
little,
accessibility thing. That's
a nice
like
little safety net. Yeah.
huge. Because if it's open, one of the problems you're going to run into with people that are less skilled at the game is that they're going to end up in places they don't want to be and then get just screwed because there's no way to get back easily
Right.
because they're on the wrong side of the wall or something. So having a way for you to like jump onto the wall, then grind, then off the wall, or just make sure you don't fling yourself over the wall because you're grinding now. That's a
Right.
really big deal for accessibility because one, you have like a audio like trigger to like know, or audio cue rather to like
Right.
know like, oh, I'm grinding now. But also it stops you from falling off, it looks like. So you don't need to do the band-aid of all right, we're gonna drag you back into the track now and stop you from
Right.
taking the shortcut you tried to do. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I didn't think about that until literally when I was preparing for this.
Yeah.
But that seems like a big deal. Like Gianna is gonna go
Yeah.
nuts when she has access to that.
That I'm just really excited to see how movement's gonna feel in this game. Just because, like you said, like there are a lot of options. You know, adding the grinding, adding the wall rides. I wonder if there will be a much different feel, if any, driving in the boats, or if it's just more of like a visual kind of thing, but the controls will be essentially the same. Also, there's gonna be like 80 plus characters, which is crazy.
Wait, what?
I mean, you have
You have cow.
You have cow.
You can be a
You
cow
have
and
Goomba.
a penguin.
You have a whole
You
bunch
can
of
be
different.
whatever what is the thing like the tall bird that like
like
the long neck like pokey bird.
Neck pokey.
It's like the dippy bird, the one that's like in Mario Party.
Oh, I forget what that thing is called. But like you get Cataquack, you got Piantas.
What the heck is a Cataquack?
Cataquacks are from Mario Sunshine. They're like the blue ducks that fling you into the air.
No way, you can race as one of those?
So it's very silly.
Oh my lord, see me day one racing Cataquack.
Listen, I can't wait to main Pianta.
Lemmy, I'm sorry, you got dropped so fast for Cataquack.
I mean, the game's gonna be a lot of fun.
My brother is gonna main cow, and there's nothing like.
I think a lot
of can't stop him.
I think a lot of the universe is so ready to main cow. That may be like the number one.
Oh my god!
Character you see in online mode, at least early on, because the cow is just so good. It seems like there's gonna be a lot of like unlocking of characters that you have to do, which I love.
That should be fun though.
Right, I'm so pumped for that because I think that's something that Mario Kart 8 was missing a little bit. Is I love the aspect of a game where you have to like play through and unlock characters. I think it's one of the strongest things in a lot of the Smash games where you have to play through a certain number of things in order to unlock specific characters. So if that is part of how this works, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Mario Kart has historically been pretty good at making unlocks feel good too.
Right.
Because they do some like visual thing and they basically like hype it up in some way. So that should be good.
And they're also jumping to like the Mario Wonder style of visuals. And I was looking at like a side-by-side between a lot of the racers in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and this. And when I tell you, I didn't realize how bad the characters looked in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in comparison to the Mario Kart World like character renders in game. It's absolutely crazy. The one that like blew my brain away was seeing Daisy side by side.
Yeah, I was gonna say Peach and Daisy.
Like Peach and Daisy look like stoic statue stone monsters in comparison to their Mario Kart World visualizations. It is so crazy different, and there's so much more just like life in these characters. I am so excited. This is like the most day one video games for me in a long time, and the fact that it's part of the pack-in bundle is so good.
Yep.
I can't wait to get it. Looks phenomenal. Next up, on the list is something that looks a little less phenomenal. Nintendo is introducing a game chat aspect to the game, which looks like Diet Discord, if we're being honest. This is what it looks like. That's just what it looks like. You know, this was a commercial promoting the best of the best, and they said, please enjoy 10 frames per second with your friends. I do think it's fun that there is like a way to connect with your friends. And it does bypass requiring a capture card to share those views with your friends. You look like you have a lot to say right now, so I'm going to open the floor to you.
This is actually, out of all of the things, aside from the $10 tech demo that no one's going to buy.
Right.
Like, I am the target audience, and I don't care. Like, I literally mod GameCube controllers. I don't care about this at all. I will watch a YouTube video. Aside from that, this is the thing that I care about the most in this.
GameChat is one of the things that you care about the most.
I will never use it, almost definitely. But that's not the point. I think it's amazing. And do you know the channel Extra Credits on YouTube?
No.
They do a lot of game design stuff.
Okay.
And I follow them mostly because of that. But they did like they were doing a stream, so I just had it in the background. They made an extremely good point. The purpose of game chat is not actually game chat. The purpose of game chat is making it feel like you're doing game chat. Let me explain.
Okay.
You don't need 60 FPS video of your friend's screen in order for it to feel like you're together. You need just to know where they are and what they're doing. And that's it. Because it just gives you context for the conversation you're having. The voice chat is what matters. The visual component is just, it's like a set piece. Like when you go to a play, and you watch like a production, unless it's like a Broadway one, their set probably sucks. And that doesn't matter. And the reason is because it is just a backdrop. That's it. You are immersing yourself in the performance, not the set.
You know what? You make a really salient point because, and now, you know, peel back the curtain a little bit here. But when Matt and I used to live closer to each other when we would hang out and we weren't recording something and we were just like playing games and chilling, we did a lot of like parallel play where we'd both be playing something different. You know, one of us
like the Tropical Freeze night with my brother. I remember, yeah, that was fun.
But like, this is perfect for people who want to hang out and just do like parallel play, because you don't even have to be playing the same game, which I think is really cool.
That's the other part that I think is the coolest. You don't have to be in the same game. The lobby is separate from the games, and that's nice. Is something Nintendo has never done before.
I kind of love it. Yeah.
Everything has been game specific. There was no way to communicate with people like separate from it, except for on the Wii U. And we don't talk about the way they did that because we actually used it sometimes, and it was bad.
It was rough.
It was bad.
That was tough sledding.
That's a great phrase.
You know what? You're 100% right. Like I really like that. You know what game this would be like really helpful for now that I'm thinking about it? I think playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with people would be phenomenal with this.
Another thing that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Remember when Octopath 1 came out and we both knew everything about different parts of the game? And you taught me how to do the save scumming trick to get all the items with like healing and stuff. And you were stuck in the woods and you were trying to figure out how to get around somewhere. And I was directing you through the woods because I had taken a different route than you. How useful would this have been then?
Oh my
god. Like we have access to like cell phones.
Just like an instant share screen is so good.
Right. And like we have cell phones and stuff like that. I still think that would be useful for us.
Yeah.
Like we have Discord and we have capture cards. I still think that would be useful for us. I thought it was going to be worthless before they did that. Like, but listening to the Extra Credits guys, I was like, I never thought about it like that. When you go to a play, you don't care about the set. The set just helps you understand what the people are doing.
Right.
The set's irrelevant outside of context. You get context for your conversations with people now. And the last thing I have to say about it.
Yeah.
The icing on the cake is that it was a brilliant decision to make it look like crap. I know that sounds weird.
Okay.
It was a brilliant decision because it was intentional. They intentionally said, we don't care about this looking the best it can look. We care about making sure you can still play your games properly while this is happening. They prioritized bandwidth for the game that you are playing, not for the voice chat. They intentionally set it up so that it wouldn't screw up playing the games, because there are a lot of other services like Skype. Remember when we used Skype to do screen recordings of stuff while we were doing long distance recordings?
Yeah.
That was bad, right? Remember the delay and how bad it was? Remember how bad that was? And we would have to synchronize the audio later because everything was so screwed up.
And like whoever was not playing would be watching on like a 10 to 20 second delay.
Right.
Crazy work.
You don't have to deal with that now.
Right.
And it's not pretty. It looks bad. Like, I'm going to be honest. It doesn't look good.
But you can still tell what's going on.
Exactly. Like, you'll be able to, oh, you're in this part of this level. Got it. I'm going to go there. Or, oh, this is what you're doing right now. Got it.
Right.
That's all that matters. And not screwing up your gameplay is so much more important.
It's true.
Because on a PC, like, there are times where in the past, I've had to close, like, Firefox or whatever to make sure that recordings are going well.
Yeah.
Because you have to be the thing that prioritizes the software.
Yeah.
Nintendo realized, and I love dunking on mistakes that Nintendo make, even though I love Nintendo, but they make some really dumb choices. I thought this was so dumb. And then I stopped and thought about it and was like,
You've sold me.
If they had actually made it record higher resolution video gameplay from your friends in the game chat, there's like a 0% chance it could have run it properly.
Right.
So they actually made a smart decision. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually happy it looks terrible because it'll make it run properly. That's the only thing that gives me confidence that it will work.
Yeah.
Like, remember when they were like, oh, wow, look how great everything looks in Breath of the Wild. And then you hit the forest and you're like, wow, I can't walk through the forest right now.
15
sure would
frames
be nice.
per second, you say.
Right. Sure would be nice if I could pick up the item on the ground, but I can't. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Andrea, boop. Your turn.
My turn. You sold me on it. I'm excited for Game Chat now. I came in dunking on it and I come back and I'm like, you know what? I was unfamiliar with your game. So
there are other things we can dunk on for sure, like the $10 tech demo that no one will buy.
Here's the thing. We're going to get to that in like 2 seconds. What are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch microphone that claims it can hear you through a blender?
BS.
Yeah, it seems ridiculous to me. Also,
and I'm so thankful that you can connect something to it because they said in one of the things that you can connect other things.
Right.
So like you having USB headphones or USB whatever.
Even just
you can also use your own camera, which I thought was cool.
Having your own camera,
USB-C camera, you don't have to use theirs, which is important because theirs is gonna suck.
Well, yeah, the camera looks like it's at 480p. Let's be honest. That camera quality.
Again, that's a good thing.
I know. But
didn't think it was a good thing. Now I do.
I'm not going to pay $50 for a 480p camera.
Right, and you shouldn't because But you're also not the target. The target is kids that don't have parents that understand how consoles work. But that's
right.
A different story entirely.
Like I am going to just use this and just hang it on my
absolutely.
TV. Like,
absolutely. Well, is that a USB-C?
Yes, that is a USB-C.
Okay, then yes, it'll work.
All right. Next up on the agenda is local play via Gameshare, which I think is phenomenal. I think this is just good. It is very similar to how they did it with, was it the 3DS, where you could play
there were certain games.
There were certain games where if you like did like the little like NFC, like I'm near my friend, we could play like Mario Kart or something like that, and only one of us needed a game.
Yeah. That was a really cool idea. It was not executed well, but it was a cool idea.
And I think having this And this is super important. So if you have a game that has, if like you have a game and you have Gameshare, you can share this. It does look like you can share certain games to the Switch 1 or even Switch Lite. So as long as it's compatible with that game, that console, that's pretty huge. Like I don't know what game it's showcasing here. It looks like some sort of like Pinochle or Scribbage, some card game. I don't know. But if you
what?
can, it's a game, all right?
What's a Pinochle? That sounds bad, Bill.
It's like a card game.
Are we gonna get struck?
All right, so if you want to play Clubhouse Games 51,
why Lightning, not YouTube? They would never do that.
If you want to play Clubhouse Games 51 with friends, you only need one console. Is all I'm saying.
That matters because that's about how many people bought it.
1 in 4, yeah, exactly. You're lucky if 1 in 4 people in your friend group bought it. Next up is the game that I think everybody is really excited to not spend $10 on, and that is the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. It is such a reverse slam dunk that Nintendo...
Oh, it's like goaltending, actually. Just goaltending. I'm so mad because I am the target and I want it so bad, but I refuse to spend $10 on a tech demo.
Wait, hold on. I have the perfect... So we talk about Nintendo with this 90-10 rule pretty frequently.
This is 10.
It's $90 for Mario Kart, $10 for the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Slam dunk, baby! That was perfect.
Blob, the dunk!
Actually, it's not $90, it's $80, but for the purposes of this joke, it was beautiful. The Nintendo Switch
after
2...
tax.
Yeah, seriously.
The after tax. The 88.70 and the 12 whatever. Oh, that makes it even worse.
Don't break my heart like that.
Oh.
The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which you want to hear something that's real messed up?
Nintendo expected people to buy that? Yeah, I know.
No, like, so I'm gonna more than likely get the Mario Kart bundle. And,
that's absolutely what I'm getting.
And with the $30 that I am saving in money, I'm probably gonna buy the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
You want to share that with a friend?
I'll local share. I'll local play via Gameshare, and then when you come and visit, we can play the tech demo together. Listen, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff, and I will. Listen. It should be free. Do not get it twisted. I am not happy that Nintendo is charging $10 for this. This should be free.
I'm so mad.
But it does look a little fun. All right.
It does.
It does look a little fun.
The part I think everyone's ignoring is the fact that there are like mini games that you can play, and everyone's looking at it like, wow, I'm paying $10 to read a book on my Switch.
Right.
No, there is other stuff.
And
I do think it's hilarious that there are areas called quizzes that you have to pass to apparently unlock new areas. What in the American education is going on right now?
Listen,
now, guys, you gotta pass your quiz.
It scratches a very good feeling itch, though, to like answer a quiz question. I'm very.
Oh, it does. Quiz. Chuck Quizmo here. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
I get it. Give me a game that's just a billion multiple choice questions, and I will sit there playing that game until I die. All right.
Bill, the irony. I just want you to pause and reflect for 5 seconds on what you just said out loud. You're the one getting it. I'm the one not.
I know.
You just said that.
I know.
I literally never stop going to school. I hate it here. It's awful. I'm the one that's like, screw that.
So when you come
$10 for a thing that I would definitely enjoy and would spend time with and would probably get more out of than lots of other games I've bought. Ugh.
I know.
You can't get me to spend $10 on that. Oh, wow. Look at this game that I spent $50 on and I haven't ever played.
Listen, I played Monster Hunter Wilds for 5 hours, maybe 10 hours, and I have not touched it again. And it is by far my biggest swing and a miss of a gaming purchase in the last like 3 or 4 years. And that was a $70 game.
When did Three Houses come out?
Oh, Three Houses, that had to be like 2020-ish. Maybe even earlier.
All right, so yeah, 3-4 years. In 4 or 5 years, it was definitely that.
Yeah. You'll never get me on a Fire Emblem, that's for sure.
And you just posted a short about this. Like, come on.
I know.
I was sitting there at school and I was like, what is that? What? Why is he talking about Donnell?
Listen, Donnell, he's the GOAT, but he's
he
not
the GOAT.
He's not goated
He's
enough
so
to get
broken
me there.
too. Holy crap.
I know he's like one of those like Magikarp into Gyarados type guys.
Oh, absolutely. He's tragically terrible until he's single-handedly tanking armies like, I'm gonna do it for the power of friendship, yuck! And then he just stabs the Black Knight in the face and kills him in one hit.
Yeehaw, baby.
Anyways.
Next up, we've got a DLC for the Super Mario Party Jamboree, which incorporates the worst parts of Mario Party, which is any outside peripherals.
Nope.
I do think it's kind of fun seeing the camera views of people's faces as like the Mario Party characters. Like I think that was like funny to me. It is not funny enough to pay the money required to do it.
It is so cringe. Steph was watching. We were all watching it as a family, and Steph was like, "That's pretty cringe."
It's pretty cringe. It's
also, the guy's sitting there like,
it is a $20 DLC. Looks terrible.
Yeah, it's yikes.
We are also getting a handful of enhanced Nintendo Switch 1 to Nintendo Switch 2 games.
I'm so mad I'm gonna have to get those, but I cannot. I cannot restrain myself from looking at Breath of the Wild again in better resolution and better frame rate.
Here's the thing. One, it does not require you to buy the game a second time. Two,
no.
If you have Nintendo Switch Plus, Online Plus,
which of course you do,
it is a 0 added extra fees to upgrade the 2 Zelda games.
Wait, you don't have to pay the $20 if you have it?
It's $10 per game for the upgrade. And
I thought it was $20.
It's $10 per game for the upgrade. Certain games are $20, but that's like Mario Party is a $20 upgrade, but that's like a DLC more than it is an upgrade. Same with Kirby. Kirby's more of a DLC than an upgrade. But Legend of Zelda, if you have NSO Plus, then it is a no added fee thing that you can just get. So if you have Breath of the Wild and or Tears of the Kingdom, and you have NSO Plus, congratulations, you have Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom 2 already pre-packed for your Nintendo Switch 2.
The upgraded version, the enhanced version?
Yeah, they're day ones.
I thought you had to pay for those.
Unless you're a
Switch.
Sure? If you are a Switch Online Plus haver, then you are already set. This is why I think the NSO Plus is probably one of the biggest
best
deals
ever. Holy cow!
It's so close.
You're telling me
Yes. Yes. So
I was expecting to shell out $20 for that.
This is what I'm like. I think a lot of people are missing the bigger picture where the install.
That's so sick.
So among people who have a Nintendo Switch 1, the install base of people having either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom already like owned on their Nintendo Switch, that install base on the Switch 1 has to be huge.
It's got to be at least like a half to 2/3.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to have a silly number of people already like owning this game. So, and then, I don't know how many people have NSO Plus, but if you have NSO Plus, you're already locked in for it. If you don't, it's $10 per game for the upgrade for those games. There are a handful of games that are getting free upgrades as well. I believe Scarlet and Violet are among those getting the free upgrades.
Yeah,
I think the two 2D
imagine
Zelda,
that game running the way it was supposed to.
Imagine Zelda Link's Awakening running at a dedicated 60 FPS. Like, that was by far the biggest problem with Link's Awakening.
The visual like glitchiness was kind of annoying.
Well, that and the fact that it would like drop frames like crazy.
That's what I'm saying, because the frame rate would change. It would run at the right speed, but visually it would not. It was
choppy.
The visuals did not run at the speed that the gameplay did, which was kind of weird, and it made me get motion sick a couple times.
So with that problem essentially resolved, I think it would be probably just like the best way to experience that game now.
And they do that to
Echoes of
The
Wisdom as
F-Zero
well.
game? The F-Zero game on the
F-Zero
Switch
99?
Online? The GameCube one. That game made me motion sick. If they fix
Oh,
that there, I might not need to vomit after playing it. I never beat that game.
are you talking
Well,
about
first of all, those games are hard.
Wait, what
But
F-Zero game was on the Switch 1? The N64 game?
no. I'm saying the one on the GameCube.
Did the GameCube, when it was on the GameCube, did it drop frame like rate a lot?
The visuals were a little bit. It didn't drop frames, but because of the motion blur, because of the frame rate,
that I don't know.
It made me sick. I literally can't play that. Also, Mario Galaxy does that, but that's on the Wii.
I would maybe watch some gameplay when it comes out to confirm that one or not, because that I have no idea.
Or just play it.
Or just play it
because on the GameCube. Segue.
Yeah, the NSO Plus is adding another console to its library of games, and starting when the Switch 2 drops, the GameCube aspect of Nintendo's history and the NSO library is going to open, and it's going to open with F-Zero GX, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and third game. I don't remember what game it is. I'm out of order here.
So Coliseum 1 and 2 aren't going to be
Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 2 is also a day one, which is the Soul Calibur you get to play as Link with, which is phenomenal.
I looked at that and was like, wow, this game looks awful. And I was like, you have no idea how broken Link is in this. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah, some of the other games... Link is broken. So...
when does Coliseum come out? Because that's the one I care about.
We don't have dates on that. But I'll say this. We are getting Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
That game is so good.
So here's the thing.
Probably the best Fire Emblem game they ever made.
Paying $450.
Don't fight me on this. I will fight you.
Paying $450 for the Switch 2 and getting Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is about the price you have.
How much does that sell for?
It's like a $300 game. That's what I'm saying. Like, it is one of the more cost-effective ways to play Path of Radiance these days. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum.
God.
Yeah, it's expensive. But we are also getting Super Mario Strikers, which is the best of that franchise. We're getting Chibi Robo. We're getting Mario Sunshine. We're getting Luigi's Mansion. We're getting both Coliseum games. I think that's like huge. Like the fact that we're getting those games and those games are locked in.
Wow,
is crazy.
Bill, the cheapest you can get it for, like sealed, is $350.
Yeah, that sounds.
All of the other ones are pre-owned.
It's an expensive game, Path of Radiance.
You can get it on Whatnot for $50. You know what else you can get on? Oh, nope, sorry.
You'd probably get hepatitis with that.
Yeah, probably. Well, here's what you get for $50. You ready?
Yeah.
The case and artwork only.
That's terrible.
I lied. So the game is $330.
I want to move on from that.
You can get a damaged refurb for $330.
That's gross.
That's not.
Speaking of gross, we have.
Oh god.
We have a.
The case goes for $70. Holy crap,
no.
That's crazy. All right, sorry.
So we are moving on to the next game, which is a game that I'm sorry, I don't think like more than like 20 people are going to buy this game. Yes, it's like a cool like accessibility thing, and the visuals are kind of cool. It is Rocket League basketball with wheelchairs. It is a game just to showcase the dual mouse capabilities of the Switch 2, but the game, I don't know, just looks kind of boring to me.
I'm mad because they could have made it into a skateboard. Front foot, left hand.
Yep.
Back foot, right hand. Flick. Hey, guess what? I just did a frontside shove it. Flick. Hey, guess what? I just did a backside shove it.
Well, why don't you...
Flick. I jumped. Flick other way.
Why don't you text Tony Hawk about this?
No, that game would suck. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying, like, guys, we could have made this into mini games.
It's true. We also got a huge list of third-party games that are going to be coming out. I'm just going to run through it real quick here. We're getting a Ridge Racer game Bestiario, Borderlands 4, Bravely Default remaster, Cyberpunk 2077, Daemon X Machina, Deltarune, EA Sports Football Club, Madden, Elden Ring, Enter the Gungeon 2, Fast Fusion, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which I think is crazy, Fortnite, First Squadron Phoenix, Goodnight Universe, Hades 2, Hitman, Hogwarts Legacy, Hollow Knight, SilkSong, baby! Human Fall Flat 2, Kinitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which looks really cool, Mousework, My Time at Evershine, 2K, we're getting a Nobunaga's Ambition, No Sleep for Kaname Date, Professor Layton, Project 007, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Raidu Remastered, Sonic Shadows, Generations, Starseeker, Star Wars Outlaws, Street Fighter 6, Split Fiction, Suikoden 1 and 2, Synth Beasts, Reanimal, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, 2 Point Museum.
And SpongeBob!
That's just going to be a secret area on one of the levels. And it's just going to have like 2 ramps. I don't want people thinking there's going to be a DLC for SpongeBob. This is just peak Tony Hawk designed. They always do this in the games. It's just a secret area in San Francisco, probably. Witchbrook, Wild Hearts, WWE, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, and probably Yuka Replayly. So what is
I
that?
have to imagine Yuka Replayly.
Right.
I lost count. We're somewhere like 30, 40,
which is a ton of games, and I want to say like 8 or 9 of those are going to be just available day one.
There's a lot,
including Deltarune, which I'm so excited about.
Ty literally Ty, can you confirm what was your reaction to finding out that Deltarune was a day one release on the Switch 2? Your input is very important. This many varies excited. Also, there was a pop off in our household when that happened. We were like, "What?"
Listen, I don't think anybody expected a Deltarune or a SilkSong reveal and
SilkSong. Oh my god!
2 games where the fan bases maybe are among the most rabid. Yes, exactly.
Rabid. The Rabbids are not rabid. The fans of
they are
SilkSong
raving.
Are rabid.
They are raving now.
They do rave, and they are rabid. There was so much copium for the past 5 years, steady diet of cope. And then they were like, I guess it's it, because this year I don't know what it was, but this was the year where everyone kind of gave up hope and was like, nah.
Well, the game was revealed in 2018 or something like that. Maybe 2017.
Yeah, but they showed the gameplay in 2020.
Right, they showed SilkSong gameplay
or 2019.
And it has now been 6 years since they revealed gameplay of a game. And usually, if a game shows you gameplay and then you don't hear mum for 6 years, that game's probably dead.
It's canceled. This is like that dude. I'm blanking on his name, which is crazy because he's going to be in Legends ZA. And he's sitting there with Floet it's been 2,000 years. That was that moment.
It's just AZ reviving.
Yeah, it was just
the rumors of my death. The rumors
it's been 6 years. Yeah, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Right. One thing I wanted to just mention that I think is a huge deal, and there is a large group of people who play this game who are just punching the air in excitement right now. The Tears of the Kingdom upgrade is coming with an app where you can share your creations with a QR code. The fact that you can share creations is insane. It's so good.
Bill, if we could have done this, I wouldn't have had a broken hover bike for the entirety of my playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom. But I was so unwilling to remake it. I was I spent enough time trying to get it right the first time. I now know that I have to flick to the left every 5 to 6 seconds once.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I don't go off kilter. But I saw that and I was like, Chelsea is probably screaming so loud.
She literally screamed.
Literally screamed. I know what the scream was too, because she has different ones I've heard. I know which one it was. And I literally sat there when I saw that, and Steph was like, oh my God, she's got to be so excited.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is one of, if not just her favorite game on the Nintendo Switch. And
I love how it's not a Zelda game to her. It's a life simulator.
Yeah, no, it is.
Also her favorite. Also, some of the inventions that she showed me, absolutely like incredible work.
So good.
Incredible work.
And she's also a very, very big fan of the lore of Zelda. Like Tears of the Kingdom lore is like some of her favorite. Like
they nailed it. They did such a good job. And I know there are people who hate it and say that it screws up the timeline. Listen, Nintendo has already out loud said that the timeline is not and will not be perfect. Deal with it. I'm sorry.
Right. Like Nintendo looked at you and said, cope, I guess.
They did not care about it for the first 6 years of just like the first 3 games they made. They were not thinking about the timeline really. They were just like trying to make games.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, like we're going to keep making Zelda games. We should probably figure this out. And in Ocarina of Time, they finally started trying to sew things up and then realized it was too late.
Yep. But we're also getting a Hyrule Warriors game that's all about the period of time where Zelda gets transported into the past. And we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff with Rauru and Sophia. And
Ty, what are your thoughts on the what I just blanked on the name
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment?
Hyrule Warriors. All right, his eyes just opened wide and he just went.
Listen,
Lots of head nodding.
I will be honest, it is not a game that I will ever play. I am not big
either, but he will. I can promise you that.
I'm not big on like the Dynasty Warrior style of battle games.
Is going to slay so many armies, it's going to be ridiculous. He's going to be like, Zelda's just going to backhand everybody.
But
I actually, all right, I lied. I'm kind of hyped to actually play as specifically Rauru, because that sounds sick.
That sounds really sick.
Listen, that sounds sick.
Fighting is Rauru, fighting is like OG Minoru. It's gonna be rad. Also,
that's gonna be so cool. She looks like a boxer. It's gonna be so cool.
The Hyrule Warriors games are that there is more story in the Zelda universe in these Hyrule Warriors games
than people realize.
Well, just like there is multiple, there's multitudes more story.
I don't know if it's canon because I know that on the Wii U is when they started it, right?
Yeah, they started it on the Wii U.
I don't think the one on the Wii U was canon.
The two that are,
I think the Age of Calamity one was.
Age of Calamity and Age of Imprisonment, I believe, are, and I'm
gonna double check.
The lore dumps that they put out are 5-10-fold of what the actual just base game gives you, because the base game gives you some lore of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh.
But there's a lot more lore in these Age of Calamity and Age of Imprisonment games.
It is not canon in the Breath of the Wild timeline, but it is considered canon in the Zelda timeline in general, meaning that the scenes that take place are not canon to the Breath of the Wild story, but they are apparently in a timeline, allegedly.
Well, guess
allegedly,
what?
Allegedly.
This is Nintendo saying F you to the timeline lords. They're like, yeah, these are all technically canon because all Zelda games happen in a multiverse. So enjoy that. Suck an egg. And
there are gonna be so many egg punchers.
Listen, they can go suck on them eggs. The game's gonna be cool. The game's gonna be fun for those who like it. And we're moving on to the next game. We're gonna talk real quickly about From Software's The Duskbloods. I thought it was Bloodborne 2 when they were slowly introducing it.
It made that trailer. Oof! Everyone in my house was like, "I am so uncomfortable. Please move forward. Please stop."
I think like the Elden Ring people are popping off, but
that's great. Have fun.
It is a PvPvE game that, I'll be honest with you, I
will not play once.
I probably won't play it one time. I've tried getting into like Elden Ring and stuff. I just can't do it. Unlike
it's just too slow.
Unlike the next game that they announced, which is Poyo Air Riders, aka Kirby Air Riders. I am sure that the pop-off in your household was insane.
I'm
sure your sister was crying. Because I
know
know
what the craziest part is? I haven't talked to her about it yet.
I'm sure
and
she popped
I'm gonna
off.
see her. I'm gonna see her this weekend, and I cannot wait to talk to her about it because my brother will probably go, "Who cares?" Sarcastically, because he loves it.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll just say, "Yeah, the game's bad. It's old." And then my sister will threaten his life.
Yeah.
She's like, "I will snap your neck where you sit." No, like I cannot wait. But there is something funny because of this.
Yeah.
The creator of Rivals of Aether 2, the owner, like producer of the games, Dan Fernacci, said, "Nintendo, so nice of you. Thank you, Sakurai, specifically for working on Kirby Air Ride, because it means you're not working on Super Smash Brothers for the Switch 2, which gives Rivals of Aether 2 some time to cook. A little
time to breathe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your dedication to the cause." And that was about as good a reaction as a dev of another platform fighter could have had to that news.
I mean, not for nothing. One, that is incredible. Two, when the trailer for Kirby Air Riders was first being played, all it showed was Kirby falling through like a black background, and
as soon as I saw the star, I knew that's what it was.
And tinging like a star that was like
I saw him trying to start the star, and I was like, I know what this is, because it wasn't a regular warp star; it was shaped differently. Only people that played that game religiously would know that.
Right. I was like,
in
my brain, I was like 50-50. This is either new Smash or Kirby Air Ride sequel. Like, there's no.
Oh, so that didn't even like the Smash didn't even like.
Really?
I didn't even think of that.
Because like
not a single thought in my mind.
Okay.
The games take too long, and one of the things that they like to do is they like to add characters from that console.
Right.
So, although, did they do that in Melee?
What do you mean add characters from that console?
Like they like taking characters from games that were released on that console.
I mean,
they want. Well, I guess that's more like the DLC, isn't it?
I was gonna say I don't really think that applies to base game Smash, like any of them. Like, the only thing that I see updated is like Link's outfit. Like, everything else is just whatever, in my experience, at least the way I remember it. Because, like, yeah, Link gets, like, new outfits with every Smash.
No.
And that's...
No, they don't.
And that's
I was
literally
wrong.
it. Like, Mario gets, like, more rivets on his pants with each new iteration. But...
do we get Cappy Mario this time?
It might be an... I would say Cappy Mario would be, like, an alt, like, color outfit.
No, we need him to be updated. I don't need up air forwarder or up air back air.
You think Mario's outgrown Flood? Just like as a Smash character?
I can't answer this question out loud because if my brother sees this, he might bury me.
Okay, so the answer is yes, but your brother loves Flood.
What? I did not say anything. Only you did.
It's okay. I'll take all the heat and you can blame me for it. Last game.
It was... oh, this one's all you. This is the one game that I know you're not going to be happy with me, but I am actually not very excited for this game.
All right, the last game that was introduced, when they first were airing the commercial, it was another kind of like fake out what is going on, because there's a little character in the corner that has the Rareware big ol' eyes, and I was
they played us so hard.
Like, my jaw hit the floor.
They were going to show off Yuka Replay with like banjo in it or something. And
I straight up was like,
and then I was like, oh, what?
I turned to Rachel. I was like, there is no shot that they are giving us a Banjo-Kazooie game. That is crazy work. But then I saw like every single background had like a whole bunch of like bananas in it and stuff, and I was like, oh baby, it is the King of Kongs, and we are getting a Donkey Kong 3D action platformer Donkey Kong Bananza. That is Bananza. And it is a game where you can travel a bunch of levels with Donkey Kong and a little rock goblin. And Donkey Kong can go around and destroy all of the land. It is, imagine if Red Faction was an action platformer, and that is exactly what we're getting. I am so excited for this. It is definitely like a departure from like a traditional like 3D platformer, but I'm excited to see Donkey Kong. He's one of my kings.
I'm gonna let you play that and tell me how it is, and then I will probably end up getting it because
yeah,
somebody in my house will want to play it.
Listen, it is not going at the $80 price tag, which I think people need to be like, oh, Donkey Kong Bonanza is an in-house game. Donkey Kong is like a premier Nintendo character, and they are charging $70 for this game.
Not 80.
Which goes to show you that not all first-party Nintendo games are going to be set at that $80 price point.
The next Zelda game absolutely will.
Zelda absolutely will. 3D Mario absolutely will. Mario Kart absolutely will.
Already announced
at $80. Those three I think are locks at their price point of $80.
Bill Trinan also talked about it. Bill Trinan said that the prices are going to be variable. He
right.
also he said in an interview with I forget what I think it was like CNN or somebody.
Okay.
Interviewed Bill Trinan, but he said, "Look, I have a picture on my phone from Donkey Kong Country." He's like, "Do you know how much Donkey Kong Country sold for?"
It was like an $80 game, I think, on the SNES.
We already went over this. That was Canada. It was $59.99. It was $60, and he was like, "This was the '90s. The games were selling for that much last year,
right?
With the exception of Tears of the Kingdom. Other companies have already started charging $70.
Yeah, I mean, like $70
games is $60 is just not cutting it for big companies and the budgets needed in order to make AAA titles.
Right, and $70 games have
inflation is real. Is basically what he said.
And $70 games is not new. Like, they've been around like at a regular cost since the PlayStation 5 came out, since the Xbox Series S came out. Like, their first party titles are just $70. And
Nintendo was just last to the party.
Right.
It's kind of funny because everyone's like, "Oh, it's the end of gaming." Now, am I happy? No, of course not. I don't want to spend more money. I'm not getting like a raise in pay that matches the raise in inflation, but that's a separate problem.
Right.
I will wag my finger at something later and, whatever.
That's fair. And I think that pretty much wraps up what was revealed at the Nintendo Switch. The next event for the Nintendo is going to be the April 17th Mario Kart World Direct. And then, with recent light of, the United States placing tariffs on every country in the world, including Penguin Island, Nintendo has announced that they are delaying pre-orders for now. They have not touched the release date.
Specifically in the U.S., because they already went
specifically in the U.S. Yes, like Europe and other places do have the pre-orders still, but in the U.S. the pre-order date is not locked in place yet, and I think there may be a chance that they, because we're 2 months away from launch, a little less than 2 months away from launch. I wonder how much time you would need to even like place and fulfill pre-orders for a console.
Well, so it depends on the sequence, because if they ship the consoles to storage facilities in the US, like have it in warehouses, then you can wait because the devices are physically present. If they tried to do it to demand, which they shouldn't, because that would be absolutely insane with a console like this. Like, remember what happened with the Switch? People were like breaking into trucks just to see if there were Switches inside.
And you know what?
Like,
Nintendo actually, you got to give them props because
the anti-scalping thing is exciting.
Well,
I am registered for my pre-order on their site.
Same.
I selected the bundle.
Same.
Am I going to pre-order it regardless of the cost? Almost definitely. Will I cry as I pay for it? Absolutely.
The thing that I am a big in-store pickup guy when it comes to consoles. Just I feel like there's a lot of opportunity to either like have mail delayed or mail kind of messed with. So I am going to pre-order through Nintendo, but if I can lock in a pre-order through like an in-store pickup for like a Best Buy or something like that first,
then
I'm going to I'll lock that in. Just so I can like go in on June 5th when the store opens, hand them my slip and say, "Hey, I pre-ordered the Switch 2. You guys have it. Please hand it to Daddy so I can go home and play with it on June 5th." And like I don't want to be like sitting around waiting for, plumber's hours for a Switch 2 to maybe arrive today. So
usually when they fulfill stuff like that, they ship it in advance. There was actually a problem with, do you remember this, with Ultimate? There were a couple copies that got shipped out early.
Oh.
So it like leaked.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a certain player from my region who I used to carpool with and was very, very good, was playing it early and posting combos with his character, and Twitter was blowing up over it, and he was like, "Am I going to get banned forever?"
Did he get banned forever?
Nah, he's like widely regarded as one of the best players with his character on the planet, so no.
It's all because of those like 3 extra days he had. It's kind of messed up,
I mean, it was more like 2 weeks, but still.
Unfair advantage.
Honestly, at release, he was filthy because of it, though. Like, everyone else was trying to figure out what their character did, and he was just like, bah, 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 and he was just destroying people. Also, he's trying to set the record for the most wins straight in, on Wi-Fi or whatever. He's like, he got over like 200 in a row or some stupid amount one time.
Woo! All right,
brother is crazy. Cooking.
Yeah, seriously.
I forget the exact number, but it was a lot.
That is a lot. Oh my God.
He's good. It's pretty good.
So
what happens when you get power ranked at the top of your state?
True. Now, while I thought the Direct was pretty rad, there are a lot of people who are upset about
mostly the price.
Lower
the price, lower the price, lower the price, lower the price, lower the price, lower the price, lower the price,
to the point where Nintendo
lower the price, lower the price, lower the price. They shut off the comments.
Nintendo had several Treehouse events after the Direct, and both days the comments were just flooded with people commenting "drop the price" over and over, and
it was awful.
It was.
So I was just like, goodbye.
It's just genuinely, it's just not productive. Because Nintendo's not going to see the chat and be like, "Oh, we're going to drop the price now." Like that's
well, the finger wag gonna set the tone for this one.
Well, yeah. Why don't we just jump into tip of the hat wag of the finger so we can just talk about it? Because unless you have like anything else you want to just like mention about just the Direct in general that you want to close off.
Showing off, they also, I forget, did they show off the Legends ZA? Yeah, they showed off new Legends ZA footage too, right?
You're right, we did get new Legends ZA footage. Just a little bit
they showed it with the Switch too, because they showed the upgraded graphics.
Right,
and stuff.
We didn't get any new like information per se, but we got just like footage.
No, but we got better footage, and
right. Game looks rad. I can't wait.
Oh my God, I am so pumped for that game. I will absolutely be getting the Switch 2 version of that game.
Yes.
Like, miss me with... I don't care if it's $10, $15 more. I'm buying it because...
Arceus was so good.
The Switch 2's performance is so much higher than the Switch's performance.
Bottom line.
I actually feel like it's worth it.
Bottom line.
And people can flame me and be like, "Oh my God, you're such a shill for Nintendo." But that Direct was... I left being like... shell shocked. Like, wow, there sure are a lot of things coming out on that system. Because like, I worked at Best Buy, like when the Wii U was released, and its release was tragically bad. I got a Switch on release, and Breath of the Wild was the only thing holding that at release. Now, yes, we got Odyssey pretty close after, and Odyssey was one of the best games on the Switch.
And
yeah,
then
so we got a nice 1-2 punch, but there was like
they put Mario Kart 8 in the first month of launch too. Like Mario Kart 8,
but that was
that's the highest selling.
That was everything.
I mean, not for nothing, but those are the three, I believe, 3 of the 4 highest selling games on the Switch are Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart,
like Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah, Animal Crossing is up there as well.
But yeah,
and we don't know what Nintendo's holiday title is gonna be, because
nope.
Like, you know, Donkey Kong comes out in July, and Nintendo's not gonna just sit on their laurels and coast on Mario Kart and Donkey Kong going into the holiday season. You know,
there's something they've been cooking behind the scenes.
1,000%.
Mario Odyssey 2. Actually, you know what would be cool?
What's that?
Honestly, if they just made the enhanced version and added more levels to Odyssey, I would actually be fine with that.
That would be rad.
I know I'm going to sound like a shill, but if the game was one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life on the Switch, and they just make that better, I am not a replay the game kind of person. I don't have as much time as I used to, so I usually beat the game 100% and then don't touch it ever again. And that's not efficient, but it's what I do. But I left that direct excited, and if they did stuff like that, I would be even more excited.
It is.
What happened? Ooh, we're back.
We're back.
I think. Okay.
Yeah, my computer had a little fart for a second there.
Smelly.
Yeah, it's terrible right now. Just stinks up the high heavens. But where were we?
Wagging fingers. That's where we were going to go. It was the last note on the direct, and then the wag the finger.
Let's wag some fingers. And tip some hats, tariffs. I suppose.
Tariffs. It's so easy. Tariffs.
Yeah. That big wag of the finger to the tariffs. Just, you know, just to keep this as like
politics free.
Politics aside, just the fact that
economists agree that this is not a good idea.
Just the fact that this is delaying my ability to pre-order
play things I want. Yes.
Just to pre-order, just to like delaying my peace of mind. I'm right pissed, I would say.
Right pissed off.
I'm right pissed, I'd say. Just the fact that I can't, because they were supposed to go live, what, today or tomorrow with the pre-orders?
I think it was supposed to be tomorrow, right?
But we
was it the 9th or the 7th? But we're not.
It's just not happening. So until they do lock in the pre-orders, I'm gonna be like all upset, wagging my finger.
Also anxious. The nervousness is the thing, because not knowing what it's gonna cost.
That sucks too.
Is actually the worst part. As someone who's been trying to save money so that we can afford to do certain things.
Right.
Like, you know, get on an airplane to say hi to Bill the Fajita. Because that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be pretty rad.
So,
right, and you know, we're looking to get 2 Switches in our household as well.
Because good luck with that.
Because there's no way that we're going to be able to share effectively if Rachel's going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom 2.0. And I'm going to be playing nothing but Mario Kart World for probably the first like 6 months of launch. Like I'll probably lock in 200 hours in that game in the first month. Like I just feel like I'm going to be
You playing Mario Kart? No way.
I would never. God, I can't wait. But yeah, wagging the finger to the tariffs and like delays because of it and all of that shenaniganry. Tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. Listen, I'm tipping my hat to just the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct in general, because at face value, when they said bye-bye, and it ended, because that's how every Nintendo Direct ends. It's just 2 people waving and going bye-bye. I don't think I felt more pumped for, like, walking out of a Nintendo Direct that I had with this Switch 2 Direct. Like, I was buzzing.
I left with like hope in humanity again.
Right, I was like
got crushed because of
I was
tariffs,
like,
but, you know.
dang, like was this like the best day of my life right now? Like, what's happening? Like, I went to my therapist and like I was like, excuse me if I have like high energy right now, but Nintendo just like did the equivalent of give me the warm embrace of of a parent to a child. Like, it felt amazing.
Then you found out that they were a PlayStation head, and they were like, "What are you talking about? That was terrible." And you're like,
no!
"All right, I need a new therapist." Bye.
Yeah, seriously. But like, it was so good, and it's been very difficult to have productive discussions. We're flipping from tip of the hat to wag of the finger now. It's been very difficult to have productive discussions about just like the games and stuff like that in general, because you can't. It's tough to go
lower
online
lower the price,
and talk about the game, and having to preface every single one of your comments with like price aside, or I promise I'm not a shill, but I just really want to. I'm excited to play the game. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys this, you listeners, you viewers. You don't have to feel guilty about being excited to play a game.
Yep.
Just bottom line. Despite what anybody on the internet says, you don't have to feel guilty about wanting to play a game. And anybody who tries to make you feel guilty about wanting to play a game, they can suck an egg. Bottom line.
I have an example of a game that might make this rough, Bill.
Say it. Just
there was some interesting discourse about the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy.
I feel like it's for different reasons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, mentally prepare for someone somewhere on some platform somewhere to be like, well, actually, wait.
In fact, I believe I used a pretty excited voice when I said Hogwarts Legacy, listing off the 37 games that were coming to the Switch 2. I didn't even bias against it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it does look pretty good on the Switch.
Listen, here's the thing: if you're a millennial and you grew up with Harry Potter, I'm not gonna dog on you.
I did not get it, but I am now tempted.
Listen, if it came to Game Pass, would I try it? Probably.
Oh my god, I loved Harry Potter.
I don't.
Why did you do this to me?
I was never a big Harry Potter guy.
This could get bad.
I just don't. The thing is, I just don't know how to read. Right. So
yeah.
Harry Potter always escaped me because I actually lost the ability to read somewhere around like the 5th grade. That's when I decided I'm done.
Only video games.
Yeah.
And I won't read them. I will just figure it out as I go.
Hey, where am I supposed to go? Like that is how I play games now.
If only NPCs could make faces at players and be like, "I'm right here. What are you doing?"
It's very funny because in the newer versions of Madden, there are options to like skip like halftime and like timeouts and stuff like that, and you can just like skip the presentation. And when you do, the commentators will be like, "Oh, and that was a really quick halftime." Like after you like speed through it, it's kind of fun.
Nice touch.
I like it. Yeah, nice touch. Matt, what games have you been playing this week?
Rivals of Ether 2 and Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And no, I'm not making that up.
Oh, for realsies.
I have been playing the Hello Kitty game with Gianna.
Has it been fun?
Yeah, for the most part.
There's
a couple of things that are
how similar to Animal Crossing is it?
You can do a lot more in the Hello Kitty game, which sounds crazy to say out loud, but Animal Crossing is more about the life sim part of it, I think, and the design part of it than it is about the going around and doing things part of it. At least to me. I don't know. Different people play it very differently. Like you can't win at Animal Crossing, right? It's kind of the same with this.
Says you, sir. I've won it.
Wag of the finger to specifically you right now. Bad form. Anyways. Tip of the hat to the museum. Great addition to the game. And by that I mean it was probably there to begin with, but I never played
Museum's
Animal
been there
Crossing.
since day one. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Whack of the finger to me for saying that out loud on the internet.
Here's the thing: Animal Crossing, New Horizons, weirdly enough, is a pretty bare bones Animal Crossing compared to previous installations of the game. Based on certain offerings. So it is kind of weird that it is a really good game, but it's tough to like call it objectively the best one. When
also the villagers, come on, you took away like
their personalities.
The villagers.
They all got lobotomies before entering this game, and it shows.
They're like, oh my god, I love you, and it's like you're supposed to be one of the mean ones that makes fun of my family.
Some of the mean ones, like back in the day, they were like, hey, I didn't like what you gave me, so I hope you slip on a banana peel, fall off a cliff, and get eaten by alligators and die.
Right. And then other ones were nice, but now it's just...
Now they're just like, hello.
They're just like, meh.
They're like a little sarcastic.
They're like indifferent.
Yeah, indifferent at worst.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, it's been fun. You know, cool. I'm like teaching Gigi like gaming logic because of it, which is cool.
Yeah.
And Rivals of Ether 2, they released a new character, Olympia, and Ty is like obsessed with this character, and I just cannot figure out how to play this character.
Okay.
So Ty will just go on like a streak of absolutely destroying me. And then I'll be like, oh, I understand it now. And then I just like win 3 in a row and he gets mad. And then like we take turns destroying each other. It's great.
That's how I feel about like Minecraft Steve in Smash. It's like if you were to
that's so different.
If you were to make me play as Steve, I would be terrible. Just because I've tried playing as Steve and I just don't understand what he's cooking.
No, it's because you didn't say chicken jockey and scream it while throwing things across
Flint
the movie theater.
Flint and steel.
That's another thing.
Whenever you log in,
better off.
Whenever you like player select, it's just Jack Black going, "I am Steve."
It's the Wiimote sound.
Oh my god! If someone hacked it to do that, that would be so funny. It would. I'm sure
Instead
it's already.
Steve, you get I am Steve.
I'm sure there's already like a hacked version of Smash Ultimate that has just, instead of the normal Steve sound effects, it is just Jack Black's quotes from this movie.
Oh god.
Which had like a killer opening weekend. I think it made more money than Mario. It was
opening weekend. It was the third best performing movie ever for Warner Brothers.
That's crazy work.
Opening weekend.
Because objectively,
it beat Batman.
The movie looks terrible. From an outsider's perspective.
The kids actually said it was good, and Steph was like, listen, there is some inappropriate stuff in there for kids, but overall, it was pretty good. Honestly, it's better than we thought. And that's also what my students said, so...
Now, here's my... as we age as millennials, we become boomers, and...
Don't you dare.
I'm just gonna say this. If you think that the Minecraft movie looks good, that's just the brain rot talking. Like, I genuinely believe a lot of it is just Gen Z brain rot, and that I'm gonna stand on that. Listen, I was never a big Minecraft guy. I never disliked it, but it was just...
And these are the games of our lives.
Gosh, wag of the finger to me.
Yeah, sure.
For dogging on the Minecraft movie. Honestly, no, it's just been like blowing up my TikTok feed and I can't escape it. I'm like, show me.
First mistake. You're on TikTok.
Show me. Yeah, we are on TikTok now. Games of our lives on TikTok. You know, for the next 74 days while TikTok exists until it gets banned or whatever. They keep kicking that can down the road. But
somebody will have it, right? Somebody's purchase will go through eventually.
That's it. Well,
or did it already and I just didn't know.
The other games that I've been playing this week, by the way, I finished Yakuza 3. So nice. We're moving right along into Yakuza 4. I told myself I was gonna do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I want more Yakuza in my life right now. Been playing some. Yeah, I know. We're 4 games deep. And now we're playing Yakuza 4. We're not even playing this Kiryu right now, so things are looking a little crazy.
You're not even playing a real game then, are you? Just preying on your desire to find Kiryu again. Welcome to Legend of Kiryu.
He'll be there.
Get it? Because Zelda's not the protagonist.
True.
Anyway, I'll see myself out.
I've heard he is the princess in this game, yeah.
Does he also have magical powers to seal away evil? You just
of.
see whatever the dude is with all the tattoos over his chest with the metal pipe from what was that? Like a Dragon?
That's about 90% of the characters in the Like a Dragon Yakuza franchise.
He's specifically the one who's got like the messed up finger or whatever. And like he like walked around the pipe. He's the old guy. He's like, "You think you tough? You've been around for long enough." And he has like the really epic boss music, which is probably everybody.
I haven't gotten there yet. That's because that's probably like Infinite Wealth or Like a Dragon 7, and we'll get there. I've also been playing on my Twitch at Build the Fajita, playing a little Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Good game.
Really good game. And then playing a little TCG Pocket. Pokemon TCG Pocket on that daily grind.
Never stopped playing that or Hearthstone, so I guess those are on the list too.
I did pull the they're running a promo right now where you can battle a Pawmot deck, and
I still have not got the stupid thing. I have won 11 battles and still have not gotten it.
I got the Pawmot. There's one card that I am missing. Like I have Machamp, I have Floatzel, I have Bidoof, and I have Pawmot, but the fifth card I don't have. I don't even know what the fifth card is.
Ekans.
Oh, I don't have Ekans yet.
I have like 4 of them. Please take all of them.
You know what? They should open up trading for promos. That's all I'm saying. They just should.
They won't though, because some of those promos come from the subscription. So.
Yep. You're gonna see like people starting to like sell accounts that have like day one Pikachu promos and stuff like that.
I don't want to think about that.
$700 for this account to have a day one Pikachu. Here you go. Crazy work. Crazy work.
Yikes.
Well, Matt, are there any last thoughts you have on the Nintendo Switch 2 or anything else that we've talked about today?
I just hope Yuka Replay goes to Switch 2 on release, because if it does...
Are you talking about like June 5th, or are you talking about just the release of Yuka Replay?
On the release of Yuka Replay.
I actually don't think Yuka Replay is going to be a Switch 1 game. Because I do believe that in the Replay commercial when they first announced it, it said like PS5, Xbox,
and Nintendo systems,
and then Nintendo systems. So
yeah,
I want to say it will have a Switch 2 version that launches when it launches. I tough to imagine that it wouldn't. But that's going to be a really fun game.
Yep, we'll probably have an episode about that game eventually.
Oh, almost certainly. Certainly. But Matt, thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful episode. Thank you all the listeners for hanging out here today. Listen, you can follow Matt at Battleon on Blue Sky and YouTube. That's BATTLEXON. And you can follow the show, Games of Our Lives. We are on Apple. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We also have a Blue Sky account, and we also now have a TikTok as well. And you can also follow the Instagram at Games of Our Pod. My name is Bill. You can follow me at Bill the Fajita on YouTube, Blue Sky, and Twitch. And Matt, sign us off, please.
Oh man, such a big responsibility. I didn't prepare. This is literally the one thing I didn't prepare for. I came up with, how many cold opens did I come up with, Bill? And I've got nothing. And these are the games of our lives. I don't know.
Thanks for listening, y'all.